Hey guys, aloha. I am a little earlier with this live than I said I was going to be, but mom duty calls. So I wanted to make sure I got in here and shared with you what I told you earlier I was going to share, which is a better alternative for the glucose tolerance test. So whether you're expecting or maybe you know someone who's expecting that might find this helpful to know, it's a piece of, my pregnancy journey, which I've been very open about sharing here on my page. But I also feel it's important for me to share this because as a health and wellness advocate, it's so important that we know that not everything that comes at us from the health and nutrition world or everything from the health care field is to be taken as law all the time, because there's so much that's out there. We need to be discerning and experts on ourselves and what we're wanting to do with our bodies and our health. And so this video is to share with you a separate alternative means for a glucose tolerance test. Now, you may have no clue what I'm talking about. So I am 26 weeks pregnant right now. And at this stage in the game, most physicians, if you're being followed by a physician or a midwife, will encourage you to have a glucose tolerance test to screen for gestational diabetes. Whether or not you have a family history, it's just one of those standard things that they request that you do. To do this test, you typically take this drink. It's called Glucola, and it's full of sugar, anywhere from 50 to 100 grams of sugar to be exact. It's meant to see how high they spike your sugar. You sit there, you drink it, you wait an hour, they take your sample, and they see where you're at. And most people don't even question this. They just go in, and you might be thinking, why didn't you just do it, Jackie? It's just one time. Well, here's the thing. I'm a nurse. I also am a health and wellness coach. I, over the course of many years, have figured out what works for me. I've done a really great job of trying to show you on my page of how I go about doing that and for our family. And it didn't start overnight with me just going radically nuts and cleaning everything out and saying, we're never eating that again. And to be clear, yes, from time to time, I will have processed sugar, but I want it to be my choice, and I want to be able to decide what I put in my body that's part of the lifestyle that I lead. So as a nurse, I know that there is an importance to having this screening and for pregnant women to not refuse to have it, especially if there is a family history of any of the women in your family having gestational diabetes, or you had a previous pregnancy where you had gestational diabetes, or you are overweight going into pregnancy and having health issues. So these are all indicators that you definitely need to have one, but we all should not ignore the fact that we need it. However, the way you go about it, you can absolutely have a choice with. And that's why I'm making this video, is because it's our bodies. We need to be able to have a voice and choose. And I, even as a nurse and healthcare professional, had reservations about how I was going to be received when I was like, hey, I'm going to question that we're going to go do it that way. I actually had gotten a lab slip from my doctor on the way out of my last appointment and forgot to talk to him about that I wanted to go a different way with this. And so when I showed up at the lab with the traditional slip, they handed me the Glucola, and I was like, I'm not taking that. And I said, I have another means to do it. They're like, well, the doctor actually has to write for it. So that would be one of my first things for you, is that if you do want to pursue a different means, you need to talk to your doctor about it first before he gives you a lab slip, if he doesn't do the labs there in your office, because the lab is going to do what the doctor orders. They can't really veer off course so much. You need to take that up with your physician or provider first. That being said, you do have other means. Now, what do I look for that I didn't want to take in this drink? Well, one, the drink, I'm going to post in the comments below this video, actually, a screenshot of what Glucola looks like and what's in it, so that you don't just think I'm pulling random stuff out of my butt. I'm also going to put down in the comments below an article that's linked to an actual study that they did of alternative ways to get your glucose where it needs to be if you want to go that route. So those will be linked in the comments down below, as well as alternatives for you to take. And then I'm going to put all this in a blog. And if you're watching this as a recording later in my blog, then you'll have all of this available to you down below. But regardless, in this drink, there's dyes. There's anywhere between 50 to 100 grams of sugar, which is more sugar than I typically even have in a day. I don't even have that much sugar in a day. For me, being where I am in my journey, and this may not be where you are right now, and I always embrace you or encourage you to embrace where you are at this point. But if I was to take in that amount of sugar in one sitting, not only would my blood sugar spike, obviously that's going to be a given, but I would feel like shit, excuse my language, for the rest of the day. Like, I can't even drink a soda. I get like this, and I can't. Why would I voluntarily put something like that in my body? So part on principle, because I don't put dyes, and one of the other things in it is brominated vegetable oil. So bromine is a flame retardant derivative, and it actually like causes a whole bunch of issues. And I know this is just a small amount, it's not a ton, but it can be toxic to your body. And why, if I, as principle, don't put that in my body regularly, would I voluntarily be like, yeah, let's do it today? Just seems like it's not cohesive to what I believe I should be fueling my body with. And if I'm going to put that much sugar in, you can bet my butt's going for, I don't know, a Grand Marnier souffle or something fancy or something with a lot of sugar that I'm really going to enjoy the crap out of, not some nasty glucose drink that I have to take and then sit in a lab for an hour. So for a variety of reasons, this was the right choice for me. So in talking to my doctor today, and this brings me to another point, you have a voice in your healthcare. And if you don't feel like you do, then you need to really investigate what is best for you and explore that. And I do a lot of that in my groups. But one of the things that I love about my doctor, he's from the UK, right, Michelle? Michelle says ice cream, right? So one of the things that I love about my physician is that I can speak openly to him. And I knew I had no reservations in talking to him. I wanted to come prepared to him with options and why I wanted to do this. And I didn't wasn't obstinate or ornery about it. I just said, hey, this is something that I would prefer to do a different way. Are you open to any of these options? And to, not my surprise, but he was very open to it, because in the UK, they do things a little bit more liberally. He's known on the island as more of the midwife of the physicians anyways, but he actually had some ideas too of his own. So my idea was to swap out the glucola for an equal substitute of sugar, which I'll provide you in a list below this. Actually, I can do that right now. Of sugar, which could be a banana and 2 slices of bread. It could be 28 organic jelly beans. That wouldn't be my best alternative, because I mean, if you like organic jelly beans, I guess go for it, but something without dyes. But I was trying to do a healthier alternative. You could do grape juice, apple juice, and I'll give you the swap out equivalents that I personally found here in this video. But you can do those kinds of swap outs. The other alternative is to do an at-home blood glucose monitoring for a week consistently. You do it fasted when you wake up, after breakfast, after lunch, after dinner, and you track it in a journal. That's a little bit more labor intensive for you. Depends on how far you want to take it. And if you want to get a glucometer, you can pick them up at your local grocery store or get it sometimes even through your insurance, and then you can track it yourself. Your beginning fasted should be anywhere between 70 and 90. And then after a meal, it should be no higher than 140. But you can track that over the course of a week, then take your results to a doctor. Some doctors like to see your results right there and do that hour. So in that case, you can opt for one of those swap outs and speak to your physician about what they're for. My doctor, actually, his solution was, well, why don't we just do a fasted one on you? I don't need you to do the glucola. I just want to see where your sugar's at. He goes, you have no history. It's really your option anyways. But if you want to do, if you still are okay to do the screening, let's do a fasted one. So instead of me doing the glucola, I'm just going to get up early one morning, go to the lab, and do a fasted blood sugar right there in the lab. And then I'm done. I don't have to waste an hour of my day. I don't have to drink a nasty drink that's full of sugar that I would never, ever put in my body otherwise, and therefore save those calories for something I'm going to enjoy later. But there's a variety of reasons. So what I want to implore you to do really with this video is just to be your own advocate, to step into knowing better, which is what I do in my groups anyways. Just be an advocate for your health. I picked a point in my journey early on that sugar did not do anything beneficial for me, and that I needed to gracefully exit it from my life in a lot of ways. We do a lot of different types of natural sugars now. I teach about this in my groups. And then pick a point. Maybe it's sugar for you. Maybe you realize that your family has too much sugar in the house and you need to phase that out. Or maybe it's processed foods. There's so many ways that you can start and gradually start implementing healthier alternatives in your life. It's not about some radical overhaul all at once, but increasing your knowledge base of what is healthy for you, for your family? What are steps that you can take that are manageable? And especially in this phase of my life where I'm growing this other human being and I have this incredible responsibility to put good stuff in my body, I'm going to be questioning what it is. I choose to know what I'm taking in every single day. My Shakeology and the things that I have decided to fuel myself with have made me feel by leaps and bounds better than my first pregnancy. And I I can't say I loved being pregnant the first time. I didn't at all. I was exhausted. I didn't feel good. I knew my body was depleted of energy and resources. And this time around, the way I'm fueling my body, the way I'm able to exercise and what I'm doing for my body, it's a completely different experience. Completely different experience. And I love being pregnant this time. And that should speak volumes to itself, because really, I used to look at those women that talked about, after I had my first pregnancy, I looked at those women that were like, oh, I enjoyed pregnancy. I was like, you're insane. You're crazy. But now I understand it's all in how your body responds or how you're treating your body. So for me, this was the best choice. And if you're looking for an alternative means, or you know somebody that's health-minded and might benefit from this information, please feel free to share this video or this blog with them, because the more we pass on knowledge like this and encourage others to be advocates in their own health, that is our best bank on healthcare for the future. For us to invest in our well-being now, healthcare right now looks like us taking the best care of ourselves and our family that we can of the moment, not waiting for down the road to get sick and fix a problem. So even in these what might seem like trivial circumstances of taking a glucose test, if you start to ask questions and look for better alternatives, they are out there. Those alternatives are out there, and you just have to be willing to put in a little work, and sharing a video like this can be a nice step. So if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. But by no means am I considering myself an end-all be-all expert, but I am in the moment right now myself in this pregnancy journey. And as I learn things and tackle obstacles, I want to share them with you, because I don't want you to ever have a fear to talk to people about what's going on in your body and your life, so that you can do better. Because when we know better, we can do better. Yes? All right. So I hope you found this helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Aloha.